Welcome back. Happy New Year. This is your January reading for my Earth signs. I hope everybody had a wonderful new year and is looking forward to a fresh start in 2025. I know that I am. All right, let's see what energies we have to start off the month of January. Okay, got a few things flying out here. First up, we have To the Sea. Then we have Loyal Heart. We actually had 4 cards pop out. We have Mending. Ooh, and lastly, we have Message in a Bottle. So To the Sea, the first thing, sorry guys, that is my sump pump. The first thing that I heard with To the Sea is that someone's going on a journey, and this can absolutely be in the physical sense. You could have travel plans, you could be making travel plans. But what I really think that this is that you're going on a personal journey. And whether that is you're going to dive deeper into subjects that you need to heal within yourself. You're going to go on maybe a bit of a personal journey. I think this year for you Earth signs is going to be about mending your heart. I think that a lot of you have been a little bit more closed off in a couple of different ways. Yes, in the standard relationship, opening up your heart in a romantic sense, I think that that can be true for a lot of you. But I also think that this is about opening your heart back up to yourself. A lot of times we get so caught up in our responsibilities in the day-to-day, sometimes just surviving from day to day, that we abandon self-care. We abandon ourselves in so many ways, especially if for the women that are watching, this is extremely common. I think that 2025 is, January in particular, the start of a journey for you healing your heart. I think you're probably going to be a little bit resistant, despite the fact that you know that this is something that you need to work on. One thing that I want to say that I keep hearing over and over and over again is that the universe wouldn't bring you to it if they weren't going to bring you through it. So know that if this is the path for you, that, you know, there may be challenges for sure, but I think that the reward at the end is really going to be worth it. And yes, it absolutely could be about opening your heart romantically, and I think that that's true for some people, but I think that the bigger message is really about opening your heart back up to yourself, learning to love yourself, learning to accept yourself, be happy with yourself, prioritize your needs, your emotions, your happiness in a way that you've maybe put to the side in recent months and or even years. And I think that the message in a bottle is saying that you might sort of stumble upon your desire to work on this in the form of a message, whether that be you see something on social media, you read something, a billboard pops up, you're talking to a friend and this winds up being the subject, but not even aimed at you or directed at you. Somehow, some way, you're going to get this message that this is what you need to work on. Okay, let's see if we can't get a little bit more clarity on what January is going to look like for my earth signs while I am shuffling. If you haven't yet, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Sorry, cards are flying and falling. Okay, first up we have Knight of Pentacles. Practical and reliable, slow and steady, committed and patient, conservative. I immediately hear that this is not something that you can or should rush through. Take your time to get to know yourself, to figure out who it is that you really are right now. I think that we've all been through a lot of changes, and we don't always, while we may stop to reflect on where we've been and how far we've come, we don't always recognize that we're not the same people now that we were before we embarked on this journey called life, right? And I think a lot of us are in a healing and a growth period. And so who you were when you started that journey and who you are now are very different. And maybe some of the values and beliefs that you've held about yourself or your responsibilities, you don't hold on to them as tightly as you maybe once did. So I think that's one of the things that the universe is saying that you should sort of focus on, is reevaluating how you approach yourself, how you prioritize yourself, how you see yourself, love yourself, accept yourself. And the rest of the cards that came out with this, I think support that wholeheartedly. We have the Hermit, reflection, introspection, solitude would go hand in hand with this journey for you. Death, transformation, endings, change, transition, and release. No doubt that if this is your journey, if this is meant for you, and you invest any kind of time in working on opening your heart back up to yourself, undoubtedly you will be a different person come the end of 2024 in the most positive of ways. And lastly, we have soulmates and unity, close bond, spiritual connection. I hate that is misspelled. While yes, this, again, the entire reading could be in the romantic sense for some of you. I think for the majority of the collective, it's more about the inward journey. So while the soulmates and unity, the close bond, the spiritual connection absolutely does apply and can apply to a romantic relationship, it applies equally to your partnership with yourself, right? The more that you open your heart up to yourself, the more secure you will feel in yourself, and the more you will strengthen your spiritual connection. And I think that you'll start to notice a lot of positive changes as you open up more to yourself. We're going to get a couple more cards here to see if we can't get a little bit more clarity on this personal journey for you, maybe what to expect. Well, the first card that popped out is Twin Flame, Mirroring, Shared Feelings, Reflection. Again, very well could be a romantic relationship for some of you. For those of you who are not experiencing or don't want to experience a romantic relationship on this journey, this is still relevant for you. There likely will be someone in your life who is mirroring this journey that you need or want to go on back to you. And either it's a friend, a coworker, a family member, maybe it's, somebody you follow on social media, that's talking about this journey that they're going on for themselves. This journey will be mirrored back to you in some way, right? And you'll realize that this other person is a reflection of you, either a little bit more healed or even in the exact same place. And you may realize that you share some of the same sentiments, some of the same feelings, some of the same experiences as them. And it could propel you to move even further down this path. Next up, we have hoping, expecting, faith, manifesting. I definitely believe that if you do embark on this journey, you're going to do it from a place of openness, one of hope and faith, that you can do it. I think that you maybe have hesitated on doing this so far because you're afraid, and it will be challenging. There's no doubt about it, but it's probably the best thing that you can do for yourself. The next card that we have here is abandoned, left out, walked away, cold. Again, could be in relation to a romantic relationship, but that's not what I'm hearing. This is sort of how your inner child, your inner teenager, your higher self feels. These are some of the fears or some of the reasons why you have shut yourself out for so long. There's a part of you that felt like you were abandoned, that you were left out. Maybe somebody walked away. Ultimately, your higher self is saying you walked away. This is the dark side of this journey and some of the things that you'll likely have to work through. But ultimately, the goal is to nourish yourself, right? Self-growth, self-focused, and soul-finding. That's what you will be doing on this journey. Finding your soul, focusing on yourself, and growing as a person so that you can continue to bring in new opportunities, that you can be open enough to experience new opportunities. And I think Earth signs, a lot of you are sort of at the point where you're kind of tired of your own shit. You're kind of tired of playing that same record over and over and over again. And there's something about the energy of January that's going to put you on this path where you're not going to recognize yourself at the end of 2025. And I think that's really exciting. So we're going to get some closing energies. The first card that came out is the Spirit of Gratitude, which I think that you will be grateful when all is said and done that you invested this time into yourself, right? And to me, this is a lotus flower, which is ever blooming, and it represents new beginnings and growth in and of itself. There's a lot ahead for you. Here we go, Earth signs, great big love. That's what the universe is asking you to give to yourself, is a great big love. And if you can find it in yourself to open yourself up to this love, you will be rewarded with a burst of magic. And again, we have the lotus flower for a second time. And we have a beautiful figure coming out from this lotus flower. Earth signs, I am excited to see how you embark on this journey. I think that this is going to be life-changing for you in such a beautiful way. I hope that you agree. I hope that this resonated with you. Until next time.